Morning, Wayne. Morning, Laker Keyshawn. Morning, Duck Boat Paul.
Duck Boat Paul in the house.
Well,
Skip.
how are you? Our man Bronny James did not get drafted in last night's first round, which I suppose will increase the chances he will get drafted by his dad's team with the 55th pick in tonight's second round. We'll get to Bronny in just a few minutes, but LeBron's Lakers did make a splash last night. You could argue they stole the first round. At 17, they took, or maybe they stole, Tennessee's Dalton Knecht. Both ESPN and The Athletic had Knecht mock drafted at 6 going to Charlotte. So Keyshawn, scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you with Dalton Knecht?
Hopefully he can connect.
Yeah, Knecht. From 3.
I'm pretty happy. I'm a 10, no, Skip.
Are you really?
Because the spot that they were at, sitting at 17, we all thought that Edie, except Paul, was a good bet. You know,
Said Edie was a 10 yesterday.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
it would have been because that's something that we need, right?
Okay,
we need
yep.
a knockdown three-point shooter. So Dalton gives us that. Everyone always says, "What is it that LeBron James needs? He needs shooters around him. He needs shooters around him." If Knecht is actually a guy that's ready for the NBA, 23 years old, so you assume a little older, a little more, a little more leaves on the trees. The moments won't probably be too big for him. He can get to the rim, nice size.
Yeah.
I don't know about his defense, but they didn't draft him for defense.
No.
They drafted him to shoot the basketball. Now, he reminds the Lakers of their head coach, in my opinion. It's like JJ was a knockdown shooter. This kid is a college knockdown shooter. Averaged 20 points a game. It's pretty good in college. Can he transfer to the NBA with LeBron James? You got some space on the floor. You're able to pass the ball, do those things. I'm fine with, because we needed it. And what else are you going to get at 17? You say, well, they could have waited and got some. What? What is there to wait on? This is what you need. And if it works out, then great. This is not a loaded 1996 NBA draft.
You mean 1984?
Or whatever.
Yeah.
The 5 guys in 84. This is not that, though. And so when you got that sitting there, a need,
Yep.
and it presents itself,
It
because he probably, if he was 19, 20 years old, he wouldn't have fell to 17. He would have probably gone in the top 10.
I'm with you.
So I'm fine. It's a 10.
I give it a 7 based on, they addressed some needs. I mean, the Lakers need pretty much everything.
Yes.
I mean, they need everything. Like the 10, you would have went with Edie, you would have gave it a 10. They got a shooting.
Yes.
And so it's solid. But you got to understand, I look at this as a potential trade piece. He's a guy who has some value, who can help some teams. I'm not sure if he can help the Lakers, based on what are the Lakers trying to get accomplished.
All right.
The
So
Lakers.
you think he's still tradable now?
Well, yeah, I think he was projected to be in the lottery, got picked at 17 by the Lakers, and you could possibly use him for a trade piece for another superstar.
I mean, that's okay if they do that.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, he's on our roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pick, but you gotta understand, translating to what he did at Tennessee to what you gotta do for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
You can go from a small-time school to the Lakers skin. That's hard to be somebody who I'm thinking gonna contribute. And not only it's the Lakers, you gotta play with LeBron. So you gotta ask yourself, how much can this guy contribute right away? Yeah, he's a little older, a little more mature. I like it, but for me, I think this is a good opportunity for the Lakers to explore another trade, possibly for a superstar. If they can package him, maybe Reeves, some draft picks or other things. I think it's
all our dudes.
but I'm just saying. I think it's an opportunity for that. So, but as far as a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 7. It's solid. This kid can definitely play. Already reminds me of what they already have in Austin. They needed more of that, I guess. I don't know how he'll fare on the defensive end. Usually, rookies is tough on the defensive end. Does he move the needle for the Lakers from play-in to playoffs? No, probably not. But it's a good start, just adding some assets, moving forward. I mean,
Nobody said that they was going to the damn NBA final because they drafted him.
No, I'm just saying it's a really good pick. It's a really good pick. No, I'm not taking anything away from it. It's a really good pick for the Lakers.
It's a need.
Absolutely.
So we have to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't say nothing. It was a great pick.
Okay,
you know, solid pick.
Did I hear clearly? Did you call Tennessee a small time? Small time school.
I think
I went to Kansas.
I think you referred to basketball. Is that what you're doing? Because it's not a small time school.
Well,
it's a
basketball-wise, it is.
Basketball,
I mean, you know, when we talk about basketball schools,
you might hear from Peyton Manning today. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a football player. Yeah, I mean, like, when the last...
That's a football player.
Like, come on, we talk about basketball right here. You talk about basketball. You talk about Kansas, Kentucky, Carolina.
They're not blue bloods of basketball.
No, Duke, you know that. But, you know, Tennessee, small
They're
time.
not small. They're a good basketball program. They're in a tournament.
So Vanderbilt's a junior college and Tennessee's small time.
I thought Vanderbilt was D2.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they're both in Tennessee, wherever Tennessee is. It's somewhere out there.
Tennessee?
Somewhere out there in the middle of the country.
Y'all crazy, though, Skip.
Vanderbilt is in Tennessee?
Yeah,
this was a good pickup, though, Skip.
No, it was a good pickup. I mean, he's a shooter. He got a shooting coach, a guy who he can relate to.
Okay, so Rob Pelinka said, after this pick was made, in my mind, there is no way a player like this would be available for us to pick on draft night. Well, that's a fact. In fact, I don't know how hard they even looked at Dalton Knecht. I don't know how much research they did. All they knew was, again, the mocks had Zach Edey maybe falling to 17 to you.
And nobody thought that Zach Edey would go 9 or 8. Yeah, no one thought that.
Okay, nobody thought that went way faster than we thought. And to ESPN's credit, all their analysts for the 3 picks ahead of 17 are saying, what are people doing? I mean, this is Dalton Knecht. He was first-team All-American. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
First 5, you know, he was in the top 5. He won the Julius Erving Award, which is for the best small forward in America. That's pretty good, okay?
Not bad.
And he was the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year.
Pretty good.
Which is pretty good.
Really good.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of good schools in there that will put up a good fight when you play them. All right, so the problem is, as they kept saying on ESPN, that all the other GMs are saying he's just too old. Well, I mean, it's not like 23 is 33. It's like, I don't either. It's 23.
Basketball, man.
Well, they're saying he has no upside. So he is who he is, you know, already. He's already polished. He's going to come in. I don't know why more NBA teams don't draft on somebody who's ready to come in right away and you know who he is, ready to play a role and ready to play. That's all they're saying.
All right. So he starts out, he's in a suburb of Denver, Colorado, and he's short. He's like 5'8" in high school, and he goes to a little junior college, Northeastern in Colorado. I don't even know where. I think it's in wherever.
Somewhere. Is it near Vanderbilt?
It's near Vanderbilt. It's maybe about 3 miles from Vanderbilt.
Right.
But the point is, he goes there, and then he goes to that's 2 years, and then he goes to Northern Colorado. Not exactly. You could call that a small-time school. And he goes there for 2 more years. So he's got a COVID year left, and he gets recruited by Rick Barnes at Tennessee because he had he had a growth spurt.
I mean,
you know, this dude's playing 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years in college?
Okay, and he suddenly sprouts up to 6'5" and a quarter. That's what he measured at the combine. So he says he chose Rick Barnes because he liked him as a defensive coach, and he wasn't known for playing much defense. And I think he's still not known for playing a lot of high-level defense.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, every time I turned on my TV and started watching Dalton Knecht last year, I was like, who the hell is this kid? Because he would go crazy hot and make like 7 straight shots. And he shot 39% from 3. But trust me, he does have a mid-range jump shot. So he is, as I tweeted last night, to your point, Keyshawn, it felt like J.J. Redick's team drafted J.J. Redick because he's got the... Listen, J.J. Redick was really good. He was the National Player of the Year in college and obviously the ACC Player of the Year a couple times. But this kid can score at all 3 levels, and he will drive it and get to the rim. I'm not saying he's explosively athletic because he's not. But he can stroke it from 3, and the best thing he does is catch it and shoot it. what does LeBron need the most of? What helps him the most? It's just catch and shoot. Because nobody, except maybe Magic Johnson, but since Magic, nobody has been able to look over a defense at 6 feet 9 inches tall and throw skip passes to wide open three-point shooters in the far corner better than LeBron James. It's just it's who he is. And I've seen some comps on Dalton Knecht of Mike Miller. You played against Mike Miller.
I know Mike Miller.
Okay, Mike Miller's a little taller because he was 6'8". And would you believe he played 17 years and shot 41% from three over 17 years? Because that's who he was.
Dalton got to get a few tattoos, though.
Okay, okay, there you go. But the point is, do you remember LeBron's first ring? Do you remember the closeout game against OKC at Miami? It was Game 5. Do you remember Mike Miller making 7 of 8 threes that night as they beat OKC of Durant, Westbrook, and Harden by 15? And LeBron said, it's about damn time I got my first ring. Okay, that was the Mike Miller game because LeBron had 13 assists in that game, and I don't know exactly what it was, but if Mike Miller hit 7 threes, you can bet that maybe 5 of them were from LeBron passes, right?
Right.
Okay, so
that's a good comp right there.
Yeah. Okay,
Mike Miller was a solid player.
So again, I'm looking at Dalton Knecht's game log, and it's for college basketball. This is impressive because 8 times he scored more than 30 points, and a lot of them are against SEC, really good SEC schools, or even in the loss they had in the NCAA's to Purdue. He scored 37 against Purdue, and it was Zach Edey, obviously.
Yeah.
And he had 40 against Kentucky on senior night at home. They lost the game by 4, but he had 40. They won at Florida. He had 39. They won at home against Auburn. He had 39, 37 at North Carolina. I can just go on and on. But that's 8 times over 30 and once over 4. He had 40. And that'll translate to me. Like if you can score it like that at that rate.
I mean, he's a guy that can come in and contribute right away.
I don't know, your last year at Kansas, how many times did you go over 30? I didn't look this up.
I played in the system, Skim. It was tough to get over 30 in Kansas. You know, them type of programs, they spread the wealth.
Well, they do. I'm with you on that.
Them type of programs. I love it, though.
Those top-level programs.
Top-level programs. You know, we don't feature just one guy.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Okay, so is Dalton Knecht going to change your life? No. But did he fall into your lap out of nowhere? Is it like the steal of the first round, given that he's probably readier to play than most of these kids are? Yeah. Can he step right in and help LeBron? Sure he can.
Yeah, so he can definitely spread the floor, make some shots. That's what LeBron needs. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they said J.J. Redick was already, drawing up plays last night for him, whatever. I'm not sure I'd go there. I did like the fact that Dalton Knecht said after he got drafted to the reporters last night, he said, at Tennessee, I watched a lot of J.J. Redick with Coach Barnes, and just the way he moves, the way he paces himself, able to create space. So when I heard that JJ's excited, he said, that's really exciting for me because it's going to be real special because he's going to play for a guy that he's tried to model himself after.
And you could clearly see it, what they were going to do. Once Edey was off the board and I started looking at the rest of the guys that was available, first thing I said is if for some reason, I went into the Bronny, listening to Knucklehead over here. I went into the they may take Bronny at 17. Right. The internet's going to explode. And then I'm like, nah.
I was ready.
And then I'm like, nah, they're not going to do that. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then as he didn't come off the board, Kincaid. Knecht. Dalton Kincaid plays football.
He can play, too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He didn't come off the board, and I'm sitting there now. We had like 15, starting to get to 16, and then they panned to him. I said, the Lakers getting ready to take this dude. And then they took him. At that point, I'm like, well, this is a J.J. Redick, Rob Pelinka. They remind him of him. It makes all the sense in the world.
But I'm not sure they started making those comparisons until about the 15th pick. Exactly. They're starting to say, wait a second. He's there?
Yeah. And typically in football, if you drop, that's because you got some other stuff going on off the field, not because of your age.
Yeah.
In football, they'll take you at 29. They don't care.
Yeah.
In basketball, they get to talk about, well, he's older. I'm like, he's 23. Yeah. He's 23 years old. Yeah. And then, like you said, this will transfer. If I'm giving you 22 points a game in college, I can give you 14. In the pros, I give you 14. Should be able to.
I don't know. Sometimes it translates, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay,
you know that. But I mean, I like what he's done in college, though. I like what he's done in college.
Okay.
You know, and I feel good about when I pick a guy like him. I do that. I do.
But you remain shocked that the Lakers didn't take
I'm shocked
Bronny
they
at
didn't take
17.
Bronny at 17, yeah.
Okay, well, if they
I'm
did
not
that,
shocked. I thought.
I was shocked.
because
I just thought that was it. That was the feel-good story. Because we know that's what the Lakers
literally
is.
thought they would, though.
You thought they would,
I
too? Did
literally
you not
did.
think that's a little, some,
I was
like,
I
hoping
was on
for?
the edge of my seat.
Once, yeah, you was on the edge of your seat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Because I the
definitely.
entire time figured they going big. Once the two bigs was off the
Yeah,
board,
right. So once
then
Edie
I
left,
said,
I was like, oh, yeah, this
yeah,
is
Edie
fine.
was gone, but the other kid from Connecticut was gone too, which they were never gonna get. But I kept saying to myself, well, they might as well just.
I just figured there
Take
wasn't,
him.
there wasn't no franchise player.
Exactly.
No franchise-changing players, you know, in this draft. Like, there just wasn't to me. Maybe they'll have a couple of guys that'll shock us, that are going to be an all-star here and there, but there wasn't a generational talent. I didn't see that. I didn't see a guy who right away is going to be a major impact. A lot of guys you're going to develop. And so where you say, oh, he has a 7-foot wingspan, 40-inch vertical, yeah, you had a lot of that, but there was no life-changing or franchise-changing player. So I thought, like, once Ide and the bigs were gone,
Yeah.
you know, the top two guys who were at that position for the Lakers to pick, I thought this was the perfect opportunity for the Lakers to grab Bronny. So, you know, we'll see
Rob
what happens.
Pelinka, to his credit, readily admitted after they took Dalton Knecht that they did try hard to trade that pick.
And go down, huh?
To go backward, yeah.
Yeah.
To go, you mean to get better or get
No,
worse?
get down, meaning like trade the pick to go down in the draft, like to in the 20s or
Yes,
something
right.
like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going like which is up and which is
17
down.
down.
Right, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So I'm with you because I thought maybe they just try to get multiple picks.
That's what I
trade
thought
back,
too.
you
I
know,
said
like,
they would
okay.
trade back. If
Okay.
they didn't take him, they would trade
Well,
back
and
and maybe still get him in the 20s.
Well, as they always say, sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make.
Yeah.
Because at 17, I'd say he's high value, even if he's
Yeah.
from a small-time school. But he's high value, right? Yeah. Okay.
A good trade, Chip.
Man, what's
Yeah.
USC?
Okay. And to your point, I hadn't thought of, but he could. I'm
a
sure
good
he would be
trade chip.
coveted by some of those teams, but I don't know why they
mean,
wouldn't have taken him already.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the Lakers,
Because
I
they're
look
probably not in a position, right? So think about Atlanta. If you
Oh, yeah, that's
want to move DeJounte and Capella, here you go. Boom. We're going to keep Austin Reeves, but we're going to give you that young piece.
Okay, that's possible.
So,
That
yeah,
could
I
help.
get that. Yeah, Paul,
I think
okay,
there's
little
some-
general manager over there.
Well, yeah, you want to add some veterans. You got to figure, like, you hear J.J. Redick say, I want to win a championship. Well, if you want to win a championship, these are the type of picks you make in order to get trade chips
Yeah.
to lead to something that's going to be bigger and better. So, good job by the Lakers.
Okay. So it didn't make sense for me to take Bronny at 17 because the only reason you do that is for him, like for the cachet of it, to say, oh, we took him at 17 because I just don't think anybody else is going to take him. But
I
you don't know.
didn't, you know, when it came up, when it was around that time, Skip, for me, I said the hell with it. That's just what I said. And I just was like, the hell with it. Because when I started to think about it, who in this draft could help the Lakers win a championship over the next 2 years?
Nobody.
Probably nobody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Dalton could grow a little bit more and it contribute, but we got to get something else. So if we could move Austin Reeves, keep him, move Austin Reeves over there, bring back some more picks. I mean, give him some picks, whatever the case is, or give him and Austin to get what we need to win a championship. I'm worried about LeBron's last couple years. I'm not worried about 5 years from now, 6 years from now. I don't care about that. Right now, immediate, right now.
Okay.
Bronny at 17, if they'd have took Bronny at 17, I'd have just said good. Good for the Lakers, good for LeBron James. If they'd have moved back into the 20s, toward the back end of the draft and took Bronny, good for the Lakers. That's what I would have said. Good for the Lakers, good for LeBron James. That's fine, because nobody in the end, is a franchise cornerstone type player that's in this draft as of right now.
If they do wind up with Bronny at 55, which is still a possibility, and they have Dalton Knecht, I would say that's a highly successful draft for them.
To do, I mean, what are they trying to do?
Because
you got Bronny and Reeves, but we all know that Bronny is just icing on the cake for LeBron.
All right.
And we all want to see that. Like, I want to see that. You know, that's why I thought.
Save it, man.
Yeah, you know, we're
gonna talk about him in a minute.
Talk about that.
We don't want to give it all away.
No, we won't. But you're right. But you did make a good point, and we're about to get to Bronny in depth. But you were making the case at 30 that it's the last pick in the first round that your champion Celtics should say,
I thought that would be like the perfect.
Yeah, you had me scratching my head, too.
When you really looked at it.
Yeah, where he could learn behind Drew and Derek White.
And you get the chance to feel what it's like to be around a championship culture.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been. I thought that would have been. Yeah, they got the guy from Creighton. So I thought that would have been. I thought that would have been a great opportunity for Bronny to be realistic. I mean, I really did. I mean, what championship culture? Drew Holiday, Derek White. This is your teachers right here.
Yeah.
I really thought when he didn't go 17, I was like, and it came to the 7, I thought maybe they'd take a chance. Because usually when you get to those picks gonna end up in the G League or trade chips, or they become irrelevant after a couple years usually. So
when you're,
they do.
I'm just saying, damn.
You know, and then here every now and then you'll find a gem at those picks, but you know those picks usually
they ain't getting
teeter
no minutes.
between. Yeah, they're not getting minutes. They teeter between the G League and trade chip and summer league every year for the next few years until they figure it out.
Well, let's go deeper into Bronny James. How about that? Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.